Well, Games Workshop is threatening Fund My Comic over my Space Marine graphic novel with a trademark infringement. And I'm going to go over what this means, guys. This is pretty funny stuff as we're getting close to closing out our campaign here. And God bless Fund My Comic, who just told them basically to buzz off because it's a false claim, very obvious at this point, and very sad. This is what happens. I get reported all the time. This comic was removed from Kickstarter because DC Comics pros were reporting me to Kickstarter, saying I'm part of hate speech and things like that. And now, of course, somebody's doing this because they're trying to cancel me again. What else is new? So I just can't make my comics and be left alone. It's really obnoxious, but it is what it is. And I'm making these books regularly, and I think that's triggering a lot of people. It's doing very, very well. The Emerald Array is now up to $20,000. Thank you guys so much for tremendous support. We're almost to 400 backers. Awesome stuff. So check it out. This is in the description below. I would love for you to get in on this before it closes out. And we are going to fight, and make sure we maintain our ability to make creative things and make our own properties despite these corporations doing what they do. So thank you so much. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're new here, guys. Really appreciate you being on JDA Talks Comics. And welcome a really awesome community over here. So here's what happens. Games Workshop is demanding Fund My Comic take down my Space Marine book, The Emerald Array. Space Marine is a genre on Amazon for books, which I showed right here in my tweet. Literally Amazon bestsellers in Space Marine science fiction books. You can see that none of them are Warhammer 40K related. So Space Marine is just a science fiction term that's been used since 1932. It's anti-competitive harassment, and it's just because somebody, like I said, I'm pretty sure one of the woke activists just sent it over to Warhammer and was like, GDA's Space Marine, right? The usual. So it states right here that they are there's a trademark infringement, and it says, I'm duly authorized of Games Workshop. Games Workshop limited genuine models, merchandise, publications, whatever. So they then said the Space Marine trademark is here, and that these exclusive rights are violated on your site. And so you know what trademarks are about. A title or a logo or a brand is about a trademark, right? And so the Emerald Array is what they're saying is under Space Marine trademark. Before we even get into like how this is even really fake, the title is the Emerald Array. It's not even Space Marine is not even part of the title. It's not even part of the logo. This logo was made by a graphic designer who works for me on all my logos, and so it has nothing to do. It doesn't even look like anything Space Marine related. Let's look at the Space Marine video game. Marine. Let's see 2. Let's look at Space Marine 2 video game. There's the Space Marine 2. It doesn't look anything like the Space Marine logo. So there's no possible brand confusion under trademark. So immediately this is a completely fake thing that's, clearly they didn't even look into this before sending this email. So it gets even weirder when you talk about this sort of stuff and you get into it. Here's a bunch of other options of actual books titled Space Marines, which is Space Marine Ajax. Okay, cool. And so that obviously is something that can be up on Amazon with no problem, right? And so this is what the Patent Office actually says on the trademark here, which is where it gets even more ridiculous. Because, again, this is a comic book, a 66-page graphic novel. A lot of fun, guys. High-T action. You're going to love this book. And so here it is. This is the active one. Video, computer games, computer software for playing games. This is not a video game. It's not a computer game. It's not software for playing games. And therefore, it just does not apply whatsoever. So this is an automated response, and it's obviously meant to be a scare tactic, right? Meant to harass a creator like me from being able to just make my own fiction, make my own stuff. And it's all because of the commentary I make on YouTube. This is not the first time they've come at me. One time they actually came at me over one of my videos on my main channel because I was actually going over some tweets in relation to the Space Marine 2 video game. And those tweets were actually people trying to cancel the publisher there because they had a Russian programmer working for it. And those tweets, and I was covering it, saying that they're just canceling this game because there's a Russian working on the game, and they were doing so on the behalf of the Ukraine sort of thing. Warhammer 40K Games Workshop actually ran a copyright claim on my video. It was literally me reading public tweets, which there's no possible way, again, there's a copyright claim on it, and actually struck my channel because of that. All because they just don't like what we're doing over here, don't like who we are. They don't like that we're an alternative to what's going on. So I built my own science fiction setting, and I want to tell you exactly what it is. This is a Terran Imperium. It takes place thousands of years in the future. There's an emperor who presides over the vast amount of planets that are under human control. When we start the series, which starts with Overmind, which you guys might have backed in 2022. The Imperium's like in shaky grounds. The outer edges of the Empire are starting to fray, and rebellions are starting to crop up there. There are no aliens that are known of at this point. So far, humanity has been just free from that. There's a reason for that gets stated in the books. I won't spoil the plots. But that's where it's at. What I set this world up as is I actually just wanted to flip the script on Star Wars, right? So Star Wars has an evil empire who's subverting everybody, and the rebellion's going to bring back true democracy in the right, and they do that. In this one, I have the empire is good, it's benevolent, it's actually created this mega prosperous mankind. And the Empire, and the rebels are the ones that are actually trying to subvert from the inside. This is kind of my commentary on American society, like where the woke activists in everything from Games Workshop to Star Wars to our entire culture are trying to subvert America and destroy America, which is an inherently good thing. And so that's where it came from. And that's the thought behind it. And so those books exist, and the first couple books are about a secret agent who's helping squash these rebellions and these problems that are going on. Her name's Ayla Rin, and she's got her own book series. And I introduced these characters, the Emerald Array, who are the elite Space Marines, in one of her novels, which is called Into the Black. It was on my last Kickstarter campaign, which was hyper successful. And that's when they banned me. They didn't want me getting successful, right? And so those guys were introduced there. And I liked them so much that I gave them their own book. And I said, you know what? I'm going to cover these guys, and I'm going to have a nice one where they fight against bug monsters from outer space, because that's a classic science fiction sort of thing. So I love classic science fiction. That was our deal here. We have a Space Marine unit. It's run by a guy named Lieutenant Lansing. Lieutenant Lansing is like your very like soft-spoken yet hard military lieutenant. He's a devout Catholic, and he is out there trying to save mankind, and he believes in mankind's divine providence. It's really good stuff. So you see right here, it opens up in this like Jack Kirby style art. This is something that like will evoke like old DC comics. If you open up like the Fourth World stuff Jack Kirby did with the New Gods and the like, this is the art style we were going for, to bring back that 70s and 80s feel of the comics, or Marvel Comics, Star Wars, like back when those actually came out as comic books in the 80s as well. This is what we want to go for, because this is the type of like sort of deal that I like and I really enjoy. And so it opens up here. The Space Marines get introduced. They have to fight back against these monsters that are killing a bunch of humans and find a way to destroy them, even though they're kind of impervious to normal human weapons. So lots of fun here, and it's its own beautiful story. This is our guy. This is our whole unit here. We've got a computer specialist. We've got a medic. We've got a combat specialist. And of course, Lieutenant Lansing, who is there, and a pilot specialist as well. And that's our group of core Space Marines who are working through this right now. So this is awesome. It's a 66-page book. You can get it, guys. There's an ebook version if you just want to try it out. There's lots of different covers, including one by Injustice creator Mike Miller. There are a catch-up. So if you just want to read the comics, these are the 3 graphic novels. But if you want to read the whole series and get the whole picture of the Imperium, there is the catch-up that also has the novels. I have 2 novels, which are written prose novels for Ayla Rin, and then I have 2 graphic novels of her and the Emerald Array, and that gets you caught up on the whole series right there. So beautiful options, hardcover editions as well. Whatever you guys like, we try to produce it for you. Thank you so much for supporting us. That's what Games Workshop's doing. And you can see, people are excited about this. I mean, we're close to 400 backers on Fund by Comic, which is a newer website. They're committed to free speech. It's just people like you who are supporting this, because they don't have a lot of natural web traffic. And so we are like on our way up, because people are understanding exactly how good our stuff is. The Emerald Array, we just got a beautiful review from a reader on the Hidden Emperor, our last campaign, who just said it was fantastic stuff. Left a beautiful written review as well, and I appreciated getting wonderful emails from all of you who backed that campaign. And they just want to tear us down. These corporations just they'll try anything. They'll try literally anything, including a false trademark complaint at this point, and that's what's going on over here. So grab it, guys. Tell your friends. Please share this out on social media. Let them know what Games Workshop's doing to us, because this is tortious interference, honestly. It is. This is the definition of tortious interference. They went to Fund My Comic to try to shut me down. Fund My Comic told them no. Of course, they know that this is not a trademark violation. We have our own book. We're doing our own thing, and it's awesome. So thank you for being here. Hope that was interesting for you. Hit the like and subscribe button. Please back the Emerald Array. If you have any questions on the book, let me know. Love to talk to you guys. We'll be back soon.